What is going on, everyone? Yvonne here. Now let's be real for a second. Your sales cycle is the engine that's going to move leads to revenue. But when your tools are all over the place, things can get lost quite easily. And that's especially true if you're trying to scale or you're also doing operations or marketing from different platforms. And that's exactly where tools like GoHighLevel come in, because they can go ahead and take all the different avenues like sales, marketing, operations, and bring them under one roof. However, what I wanted to focus on today is high level for sales. When it comes to sales, it's going to be pretty crucial to be efficient and actually do things that are going to move the needle. Because a lot of times, in my experience, sales reps just do activities just to look productive. But again, it doesn't matter whether we send 10,000 emails or one, a deal is going to be a deal. And that's exactly why high level is going to be really useful, because it's going to show you exactly where those deals are coming from. And that way, doesn't matter what you're working on, nothing is going to slip through the cracks. So in this guide, I'm going to walk you guys through exactly on how to set up your guys' sales engine within high level and make sure you guys are set up for success. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. Now, first things first, why is centralizing so important for you guys' sales cycle? Think about it. Let's say Jimmy is sending emails from one platform, calling from another one, and leaving notes in the third. Things can get messy really quick. And hypothetically, let's say you're using a CRM system of some sort today already. How do you actually work with marketing? How do you work with operations? How do we actually pull up reports and actually compare operations, marketing, and sales all under one roof to see what is moving the needle? Because let's be real, things like marketing and sales work very closely together. And it's really important to understand what marketing channels are actually working versus which ones are not. And when it comes to the sales side of things, it's quite helpful to have a full understanding over a sales funnel and understand exactly where each specific deal is currently at. So now let's dive into high level and go under the hood to see what it's going to look like. Now, quick little thing here. I am going to be sharing my screen. So if you guys do want to follow along or even try out the platform for yourself, feel free to check out the link down below in the description for a free trial of the platform. Great. Now, once you guys have clicked on the link in the description, all you need to do is press the 14-day free trial here, and you'll be prompted to this little screen. Now here, go ahead and input the name of your guys' company, full name, email address, and your phone number. So I'm going to name my company Test, enter my first and last name, phone number, and my email address. Let's go to step 2 here, and bam. Now there's going to be 2 different options here when it comes to plans. However, those only activate after you finish your free trial. So do not worry. You can actually cancel anytime before it, and you will not get charged. From here, all you need to do is input your payment information. Let's click this little box and select the trial you want. I personally, if you're writing it for your personal business, I recommend just to go with a starter plan, because most of the features are going to be pre-built into it. However, if you're a marketing agency that's doing marketing for many different businesses, that's where the unlimited plan comes in, because you can have unlimited sub accounts. But assuming that you guys are doing this for your own business, let's just go ahead and go with the starter plan, and we can always grow from there. Bam. Now, once you guys go through the checkout, here's how your screen is going to look like. Now, keep in mind, when it comes to the features that high level offers, there's going to be 2 different kinds. There's going to be the agency features, and then there's going to be the specific business features. Assuming that you're watching this video to improve the sales cycle for your business, let's go ahead and actually talk about the business specific features. Now, in order to access those, we actually need to create a sub account. So go ahead and go here where it says sub accounts, click on that, press create sub account. So essentially, this is kind of like an account for your business. Then from there, select the template that you want: finance, marketing agency, automotive. I personally think it's just easier to do it from scratch. So go ahead and click on this one. You can always do it manually. And then from here, enter your first and last name, your email, business name, business phone, address, city, country, add account, and boom, you'll be ready to rock. So let's go back here. And once you guys have created your sub account, here's how it's going to look like. Alrighty, now we're going to be ready to rock. So go ahead and press here, click here to switch, select a sub account, and bam, we're going to be in. And once you guys dive into specific features when it comes to your business, there's going to be a lot of them. There's going to be all the conversations you're going to have, your calendar, contacts, opportunities. That's where we're going to be spending the most amount of time. And then if you're interested in other things, there's going to be marketing, automations, sites, memberships, media storage, reputation, and reporting. Cool. Now, given that we want to improve our sales cycle, we're going to be spending the most amount of time in contacts, opportunities, and automation. Now, first, let's go ahead and go to contacts. Here is where all the individuals that you're going to be hitting up, that's where they're going to live. So we can easily add a contact, import it from another system, and add them all to the platform. And once you guys have some contacts in there, we can organize them into a smart list. Now, when I say smart list, here's what I mean. Every single person that you're going to be selling to is going to be a tad different. For example, let's say we're running a gym and we're trying to market for our gym. We can market to people that live nearby. We can market to bodybuilders. We can market to football players. We can market to health professionals. There's a lot of different groups that we can market to. And marketing for each one of them is going to be a tad different. And same thing when it comes to your outreaches. If you're sending an email or an SMS, those are going to be completely different, whether you're sending it to a bodybuilder or your local gym teacher. Because again, they have different interests and desires, and making sure that we close them, that's going to be a whole completely different ball game. That's why those smart lists are going to be really important. And then then from there, if you do not want to do things one by one, you can always go to bulk actions right over here. And then from there, you can do things automatically. And that can also apply to tasks as well, because as you guys are hitting up, folks, there's no way you can keep everything in your head. And look, no offense to you, but if you're making 100 dials 5 days a week, there's 0% chance you're going to remember exactly what went down for each specific individual. And that's why adding those tasks is going to be really crucial, because you can create a task there, add a description, add a due date and time. You can have it be recurring, tie it with a specific individual, and assign it to a person within your sales team. That way, nothing's going to slip through the cracks. Bam. So let's get out of here. And then from here, we can add a company and later add those contacts and companies into opportunities. Now the opportunities, that's where you're going to be spending the most amount of time in. So let's go ahead and go to opportunities. So here we can go ahead and create our own pipeline. Now, when I say pipeline, it kind of depends on what you guys are looking for. We can have everything be within one pipeline, or if we're selling different products or to different individuals, we can have multiple pipelines. It kind of depends on how you guys want to set it up. So let's go ahead and create a new pipeline here, and let's press on create new pipeline. We're going to name it test, and we can have different stages. And the stages can be cold, no outreach, not interested, warm, hot, commit, closed, won. Boom. Now let's go ahead and save. But again, you guys can kind of set it up depending on how you guys want. So if we go to opportunities here, now we can see which individual is going to be under which column. So who's going to be under cold and no outreach, who's going to be under not interested, who's going to be under warm, hot, commit, and closed won. Now, when I say closed won, it usually means that the deal has been closed. And then from there, we can always add opportunities. So we can go ahead and add a contact here, add onto a specific pipeline, add a tag, and add an opportunity value. And that way, everything is going to be organized. And that's why keeping everything under one roof is going to be pretty crucial, because that way it's going to be a lot easier for you guys to kind of navigate the system and make sure that nothing gets lost. So essentially, it's a centralized source of truth. And then to your guys' pipelines, you can always put a filter there. And that way, if you have a lot of different stages, you can specifically focus, let's say those, they're going to be in the warm column and they're going to be in the bodybuilding stage if we're selling the gym equipment. So it all kind of depends on how you guys have your pipeline set up and how you guys want to run your business. Now, if I was in your guys' shoes and I wanted to utilize HighLevel to its potential, what I would do is unite marketing and sales. Again, those two areas depend so much on one another, so it's really important to make sure that they're going to be connected. So once we got our opportunity set up, and then we're going to be ready to collect payments so we can send out invoices, documents, orders, and see all within one place. Keep in mind, everything that you guys are doing from the outreach perspective, you can also see on your dashboard, so we can see your funnel that we've just created right over here, stage distribution to kind of see exactly what stages everybody in. We can see all the opportunities, conversions, opportunity status, the tasks that I was talking about, manual actions that we need to do. And this is going to be where the leads are coming from. That's where marketing is going to shine. So let's go ahead and go here on the marketing. Now, because we have other videos on this channel that go over marketing and HighLevel, I'm not going to go over it too much in depth. However, this is going to be the part where you want to unite your marketing and sales efforts, and that way they work side by side. So first step to successful business, make sure to connect all of you guys' socials, and that way you can communicate with folks under one roof. So your Facebook, Insta, LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok, Pinterest, right? Whatever you guys are using, connect it. Then from there, you can do email marketing. And guess what? For each individual person that you're sending emails to, you can actually see it on their contact record. So remember those smart lists that I was talking about? We can enroll a specific list into a specific campaign, and that way everything that you're going to be sending out is going to be really customized. And then from there, you can see all the stats behind it. So how many emails were delivered, open, clicked, and ordered, and all different stats when it comes to emails delivered, bounce, spam complaints, open rates, different stuff like that. And you can see for different campaigns and different templates. From there, you can also have snippets to kind of save you a bunch of time, countdown timers to build urgency, and tracking your guys' links as well if you want to track those to kind of see who's clicking on what. You can also add affiliate manager if you're doing any type of affiliate marketing, add a brand board, or your guys' ad manager, and that way, for all of you guys' ads that you guys are spending money for, you can kind of see exactly what's the ROI on those and which ones are working versus which ones are not. And then from there, once we have marketing and sales built out, go to the automation tab. Now, the way that automations work here is going to be quite simple. Essentially, it's going to work around the if-then statement. So if something happened, then X, Y, and Z is going to follow. So let's say if we send out a marketing email and they open it and interact with it, then we should have a task be created for us to call them. Because guess what? If somebody clicked the link on the email that we send out, and that's obviously a sales email, they're obviously interested. So we need to take advantage of all this opportunity and call them as fast as possible. Or the least we can do is send them another email that's going to be a lot more customized, or an SMS. Now here's how it works. We can either do it through a template from a recipe, or you can do it from scratch. So if we do it from scratch, you can go ahead and have the trigger be right over here. And let's say the trigger is linked. So trigger link clicked, like I was talking about. Let's save that. And then from there, we can have this little plus here where it's going to create a task for us to actually actually follow up with them. So if we type in tasks, you can go ahead and have add a task, or as you guys see, there's going to be a lot that's built into here. We can add a contact tag, like for example, someone that's going to be a hot lead. We can add a note to it. We can send another email. We can update a specific opportunity. So if you guys put an opportunity, create an updated opportunity if they are interested. So hypothetically, let's say they actually book time with us, we should create an opportunity because that lead can potentially close. And that's kind of like what I'm talking about here. Everything that happens, where it's if something happens that XYZ is going to follow, we can create it through automations. And that way you don't need to worry about it. You just set it up once and GoHighLevel is going to do all the heavy lifting for you. Creating those actions one by one can be super tedious. And that's where I would personally use Workflow AI. Here, you can literally describe exactly what you're hoping to achieve and GoHighLevel is going to build it for you. And that way, all that technical jargon, you don't have to go through. Bam. And once we got that covered, you can always go to dashboard to see your results, or you can go to reporting and you can see all the reports behind your guys' Google ads, Facebook ads, attribution reports, call reports, appointment reports, or audit reports. And I don't mean to sound like a broken record here, but that's kind of the whole point behind keeping everything under one roof. Since we have marketing, operations, and sales all live within GoHighLevel, we know exactly what is working versus what is not for each specific sector. And then from there, whatever is working, we're going to double down on, and whatever is not, we're going to cut it short. So that way you can be sure that nothing ever falls through the cracks. And there you folks have it. As you guys have probably experienced, most CRMs either feel too lightweight or they're going to be too complex to set up. What I personally like about GoHighLevel is going to be a mix of both. It's going to have majority of those complex features, but without that technical setup. As you guys saw, the entire setup process is going to be drag and drop, no coding required. And if you don't want to do it yourself, you can have the AI system do it for you, like we saw with Workflow AI. And that way, your sales teams can focus on selling and closing deals instead of worrying about admin work. So, as I mentioned before, if you guys do want to try out the platform for yourself, feel free to check out the link down below in the description. And if you guys got some value out of this video, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more videos like this, as it tremendously helps support the channel. Till next time, peace.